All right, late summer here in the Golden Isles, fall's coming, the days are getting shorter, and that means one thing for inshore fishermen here in the Golden Isles. That means the big three are about to be biting like crazy. That's flounder, redfish, and trout. Today we're going to be focusing on flounder. Now, a lot of people fish for redfish, they fish for trout, and flounder is more of an incidental catch. But today we have met up with Captain Tim Cutting, aka Wharf Rat, aka Grateful Red, aka the Flounder Pounder. And what he does is specifically targets flounder, something not a whole lot of people do anywhere along the coast, and definitely not a lot of people do it on the coast of Georgia. So what he uses is artificial only. We're going to be fishing with a jig head, with a jig on the back of it, Berkeley gulp primarily, but I'll let Captain Tim tell you more about it. Here we are, Golden Isles Outdoors, Flounder Pounder. We'll be right back. Captain Tim, how's it going?
How you doing, Pate?
Doing good, doing good. Well, what are we going to catch today?
We're going to target flounder, and we're going to catch some flounder.
All right. We're going to use artificial only. What kind of bait are we going to be using? You show me that real quick.
I love these Berkeley Gulp 4-inch swimming mullet, and mostly I use white, but we'll also switch it over to chartreuse.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you like the white?
I do like the white for flounder. White, even the Carolinas traditionally, the first flounder they would catch, they would cut his belly. And so, and just over years, white seems to be one of their favorite colors. And when the bite gets tough, we'll switch to chartreuse.
I think the important thing is a good graphite or good feeling rod when you fish artificials. That's a 32-inch redfish.
Gotcha.
And
yeah.
That's him spitting it out. So, I mean, you got it, boom, boom. I always tell people it's free to set the hook, you know. And when you're out of flounder fishing, you'll set the hook on oysters, and the oyster will turn into a rock, or you set the hook on a flounder, and the flounder turns into a rock. So, or the rock turns into a flounder, or the rock starts swimming. Oh, that's him. But a lot of people, you've ever been fishing, you know, you come up and there's a flounder, and I'm like, whoa, I got a flounder. By the time you grab the net, he wallows and he just came off. You gotta get that hook through his face. So even when I feel him swimming a little bit, I'll pop him.
I'm ready. I like filming, but I like fishing even better. Let's hit the water and let's go try to catch some fish. Well, we're out here at the Hampton River, about the mouth of the Hampton River, fishing with Captain Tim Cutting, aka the Flounder Pounder. He's developed this method of catching flounder that does not require any bait, so artificials only. Hopefully we'll be able to put a couple nice flounders in the boat, maybe have some crab stuffed flounders tonight.
Probably another 10 feet you can roll shell. And most of them off there, you know, off the shell, you'll be able to roll it. I point right at it like this and just kind of pull back and the shells roll. And you don't hardly ever lose anything. You get up real close, every now and you'll lose one. And I'll vary the retrieve, but the main thing I tell people is like 1,000 teacups are down there. You're trying to catch the handle. Okay? You're crawling. I mean, you gotta hit that little booger right in the head. And any whack, tick, tap, or anything.
Oh.
There's number one. That's how you're supposed to.
Very nice, very nice.
Let's do that again.
Heck yeah, that's all right. Now, when you're fishing for these, and you get people that haven't fished for flounder before, but they've bass fished, say in the mountains or in the lakes around there, is it easy for them to make the transition?
Really, like the guys fish for spotted bass with the shaky heads and the finesse rigs and the drop shots, they do very well. But
The lakes sometimes have a fairly clean bottom, so you don't feel a lot of structure. So you will set the hook on some rocks in here, but that's all right. You know, when in doubt, you know, it's free to set the hook. A lot of times it's just pressure like a bass. Sometimes you get that stink thump, you know. Covering water, artificial. That's one of the reasons I like it. And these are a little more user-friendly to keep the other species, the non-targeted species off, the croakers, the pinfish, the robinfish, the sea robins, the sea bass. I mean, there's a ton of those bait stealers, you like to call them, you know, which are fun to catch, but it's not what we're trying to catch today.
Right. Flounder pounder.
If you think you're going too slow, go slower.
Really? On the retrieve?
Yep. Try to catch every rock. Try to catch that rock. Try to make that hook in one. That's like 1,000 teacups. You're trying to get that hook to fall in the handle.
1,000 teacups. I gotcha.
One of them big enough to blot out. There he is.
Ah.
I tell people that's what I do. I bass fish the marsh.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in your bass box will work out here. Everything. There's no lure in that bass box that will not work. You can see the wind, you know, coming off all right. You know, little tub, you know, it puts a little bow in your line. So a lot of times you do what you can to eliminate that.
Now, why do you want to keep the bow off your line?
So you can feel the bite. Now that's another chip. But I felt him dancing it with that bow in your line. I wouldn't even felt him tap it. You know, there's too much slack, and you wouldn't feel the sensitivity, you know, transfer to the pole. So we'll let him grow up. But that sensitivity is everything. And if live bait, you know, the equipment, you can be a little more economical because they're going to eat it. But with artificials, you know, do what your wallet can stand. But you know, it does make a difference.
Yeah, that's a little better one.
That's a good one. Keep them underneath the water.
All right. The bill dancing. Woohoo!
Give it about 6 inches.
Flounder pounder coming home. Yeah, buddy. Very nice. Very nice.
That's a good one there, Pate.
There we go. Yowza, yowza. And that is a nice little flounder. That's what we're looking for.